The Wu-Tang Clan are back, and they're back in the video game business. In 1999, they released their first video game, Shaolin Style, and they're back with a new video game called Rise of the Deceiver. In this game, you're going to be playing with you or three of your other friends and fighting the Deceiver, who's trying to take over the world. In the trailer, it looks kind of like the Wu-Tang Clan has gone missing, and you and your character are going to have to find out what happened to them and maybe try and save them. And the game looks pretty cool. There's elements of Afro-surrealism and anime inspiration, but you're also going to be able to customize your character to be able to have specific styles of moves and what they wear. This feels kind of like a Fortnite level of being able to customize your character. But overall, this is a great opportunity for the Wu-Tang Clan, obviously because they created it, to incorporate their music into the video game. It's rumored that there are going to be aspects of the video game that are going to tie specifically into the music. Now, whether that is going to be elements of their music that trigger certain events, or just maybe some of their lyrics, or maybe the entire soundtrack is going to be them. We do know that another artist, Just Blaze, is also going to be a part of the soundtrack, though. The release of Rise of the Deceiver is going to coincide with a movie project that Ghostface Killah and RZA have been working on together called Angel of Dust. Now, while the video game looks great, and I'm sure it's going to do well, this is just another example of how the Wu-Tang Clan is able to take their music and capitalize it in another area. They're creating an opportunity for millions of people to experience their music in a new way through a video game. And yes, they did this back in 1999, but that was like over 20 years ago, and there's a new audience that probably hasn't heard of Wu-Tang Clan, or just maybe doesn't think of them in the same way as people did back in 1999. And this is what I really want to talk about: creating opportunities for other people to hear your music, and also creating other ways for you to express yourself and your art, because doing music alone sometimes can cause a huge amount of burnout, and you might not feel motivated to create music or to be inspired or anything. You need something else, a second passion, to be able to kind of split your brain into different areas so that you can borrow from one area and give to another. Take a look at Post Malone. I think Post Malone is a really great example of this. Not only is he experimenting in country music, where he's taking things that he's worked on in hip hop or pop music, and he's now saying, I want to try something different and take what I've learned and put that in the country. But he's also experimenting with comic books, and he's writing a story through comic books called Big Rig. So being able to split your creative opportunities amongst several different places, whether it's trying a new genre of music or a whole new different medium, is going to give you several benefits. You're going to be able to have more creative power because you're focusing in different fields and you can try something new. Whenever you're new in something, you don't really care about the rules. You're just trying to do something that sounds good to you. And sometimes ignoring the rules is going to give you the best creative outcome. And you're going to be exposing yourself to a whole new process. You're going to be learning all those things, and you're going to be able to take things that you've learned from your previous process and incorporate into a new process, which is probably going to be like adding new ingredients to a cake or to a recipe to give it a whole new flavor or taste. But it's also going to expose you to a larger audience. There's probably a ton of people that listen to country music that a couple years ago didn't know that much about Post Malone. But now that he's blown up in the music scene in country music, they know about him and they know about his previous work. So it's giving him an opportunity to create a new audience, but also continue to grow his strength in his older music as well too. It's also allowing him to stay fresh with his creativity, because he's not trying to do the same thing over and over again. He's like, I can do something different. I can do something new. It's a new toy to play with to kind of spark his creativity. And then when he's like, I'm kind of done playing with this toy, he'll go back and he'll play with rap or hip hop or whatever and be able to have some fresh perspectives and some fresh energy in it. Same way with what he's doing in comic books. He's telling a whole new story through his comic book, Big Rig. And once he's done with that, he might be able to come back to any genre of music he wants and say, I'm going to do a concept album. Or maybe he's going to do a movie, or maybe he's going to do something else. Whatever it is, if it's Post Malone or if it's the Wu-Tang Clan, they're being very creative with how they're using their music and how they're using their creativity, because it's helping them A, avoid burnout, 2, they're strengthening their music by putting it in so many other places, and 3, they're making a bigger name for themselves by trying to put their music in these different mediums and different catalogs to expose themselves to a larger audience. But all that to say, there's a new Wu-Tang Clan video game coming out. I think it looks dope, and I think it's gonna be fun to play. But what do you guys think? Do you think it's a good idea when artists put their music in all these different places and they try different mediums and different ways of making new art and new music? And are you excited for the Wu-Tang Clan video game to come out? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Peace.